Sega, Sega. Dudes. All right. Sand's running a little bit behind, but we're going to go ahead and get things going. But topic of conversation for tonight is going to be, what about the next gen consoles? I should have pulled it up, but Sony has said that they're pushing the launch of the PlayStation 6 back. And it was kind of an interesting conversation on Discord. But pretty much everyone was just like, it wasn't a big deal. So I thought that was something that he and I could talk about tonight. Until he gets back. It's on. We're going to shoot some bugs in EDF 2017. And he's just popping in. Send him something. Bloop. I just sent you a message saying, yes, I can see you.
Oh, I was wondering.
But just...
We are live.
We are live.
We are live. Okay.
We are live, and we are going to shoot some bugs for a little bit.
Oh, you're playing a game?
You can see it on the screen.
Oh, wow. So I've heard interesting things about this Virtual Boy.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that as well.
A lot of interesting things about this Virtual Boy moving forward. So a lot of people either like it, they don't like it. One guy wrote Nintendo ruined my childhood. It's weird. Like I had it on my 55 inch, and it's very weird the way it looks. It plays like it, but the controls are it's very close to using the suspend point with the game. So if you press the two controls in the back, the R2 and L2, you suspend the game. So when playing Teleboxer, you have to use the L1 and R1 to box, and you keep on slipping and going to pause the game and then suspend the game and then suspend the game. So it really is, it's kind of stupid the way they did the design of it.
Yeah. I would say that doesn't make a ton of sense.
It's just pretty stupid. I mean, it's dumb. I ordered the glasses. I gotta wait until it comes in. But you have to sit with the controller, and I don't know.
It does look like it's kind of a... especially if you have the cardboard setup. Like, that looks really dumb.
Oh, the cardboard setup's horrible. People were saying it was falling apart due to the weight of the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, it's cardboard. It's not going to last.
No, it's definitely not going to last.
They're still charging a lot more than they should for cardboard that you put a paint decor on.
That is Nintendo for you.
Pretty much. The Nintendo tax is real.
So, yeah, I mean, like, a lot of the Virtual Boy stuff, everybody was really was complaining about it. They were saying, it's garbage. So I don't know what was going on with that. The Virtual Fighter World Stage came out for the Switch. People were definitely talking about that.
I have no idea what that is.
Virtual Fighter.
No, but the new game.
Yeah, it's a new Virtual Fighter game. Apparently something came out with it, or they came out with it and they said, "Oh wow, look at this. This is going to be, great and everything." So they're pushing now a new Virtual Fighter game.
I mean, I guess more power to them. Not my style game, but that actually I think kind of ties into the discussion for tonight. Is like you heard that PlayStation pushed the launch for the PlayStation 6 back, right?
I didn't even know there was a PlayStation 6.
Well, I mean, you knew that there were, Microsoft's working on the next Xbox. Sony's working on the next PlayStation. Nintendo's already working on the Switch 2 successor, whatever that's going to be.
Wait, already?
As soon as it launches, they are already working on the next one.
What?
Dude, that's business. As soon as it launches, they've already got what are we doing next in mind.
No.
Yes.
That's insane.
No. It makes complete and total sense. You think that they get a console off the ground in just 2 years? No, they're doing R&D and development probably even before the Switch 2 came out on what is the next. What do we think we're going to need to do for the next Switch?
That's wild.
That's why they all of a sudden, people get so excited when they start seeing new patents and stuff being granted or applied for, because they think it's going to give them a hint on what the next console is going to be like. And that's not always true. Because sometimes
I agree.
Patent the ideas because, okay, maybe we want to do something with this sometime in the future, but a lot of times nothing comes of it.
That's crazy.
But I mean, as soon as when tech hits the showroom floor, it's already obsolete. But by the time it gets through all the testing and everything else, they've already moved on to developing other stuff.
I just didn't think they were going to do that. I didn't even know that there was a PlayStation thing out for whatever we were talking about.
Yeah, the launch of PlayStation 6 may be delayed until 2028 or 2029. They're saying it's because of the shortage of memory chips, but I imagine it's also, what is the need for another generation of consoles? I mean, for me, the big selling point for the Xbox Series X was that they put a focus on, okay, well, let's make loading times better. And that was a huge...
That does make sense. That really does make sense.
What are they going to do for the next PlayStation and the next Xbox? I mean, the Switch is like, the next one, we'll just make it on par with last generation or close to it. And people will eat it up. So, I mean, there doesn't really seem to be a huge reason to me to even consider getting a new console.
It's all the same crap anyway. What are they going to do? Enhance the stuff again?
Yeah.
Console's never going to beat PC. PC's just way better.
And that's what it's kind of like, well, okay, what's the next generation going to be? Because every generation has gotten consoles more and more like a PC. And now it's to the point where you can't, you have to install the game before you can play it. You can't just stick the disc in and play. For Xbox and Sony. Or Microsoft.
No, it makes sense.
For Nintendo, you can stick a cart in as long as the game's actually on the cart, and you can play it. With PCs, you haven't, first it went to, you had to install the game so you could play it. And then it had to, you could no longer stick in a disc and play. You had to install it. Well, guess what? Consoles have just gone that direction last gen. So, what are they going to copy that computers are doing now? I mean, computers aren't, I don't know what they're actually doing different.
Well, I can tell you this much. I don't use my computer for anything other than YouTube.
But you could. You got a computer that you paid a bunch of money for computer power that you don't need.
Oh yeah, the thing. I mean, I was gonna play something on here. The computer's insane. I think when I move and I have an actual dedicated, like everything is kind of separated, which is my idea. I'm gonna probably use the PC a little bit more. I'm just so console heavy. It's crazy.
I mean, it's so convenient. That was like the big selling point, at least for me, in particular. And I think back in the day was consoles were so much easier than computers to play,
True. Yeah, you're right. They were.
especially in the days of DOS and Windows 95. Like you would have to configure your memory for some games because your computer was too old or something. And so you'd have to do these tricks to get it so you could play new games, and then you had the sound cards and all this other stuff. Whereas consoles of the time, you plugged it in and you played. And that was it. You popped your cart in, or some, in the case of the Sega CD and stuff, you plugged put the CD in, and you played. You didn't have to download anything. You didn't have to get an update. You didn't have to.
No, I know.
You didn't have
I
to
know.
wait.
It's just it's crazy.
And I had a bit of a scare not that long ago. No, actually, I was going to start playing around with see if I could just go run and shoot some people in Expedition 33. But the disc wasn't reading.
No.
Yeah, and I was like, what the heck? It was fine yesterday. I played it for a good bit last night. What the heck is going on? So, I turned it off, turned it back on, did all the usual things, tried a different game, took the disc out, put the disc back in. Then I was like, okay, well, let me try another game. Put in another game, same thing. It gives me a warning error. Like, oh, you need to kind of annoying. It's like, oh, you need to upgrade or re-up your subscription to Game Pass. And I was like, I'm playing off a disc. I don't need Game Pass. And it's like, oh, if you're using a disc, try cleaning it.
That is wild.
Yeah. And then I tried another game, and it gave me the same. It didn't say Game Pass because this was Darksiders Genesis, but it said, "Oh, if you're trying to play this game off disc, put the disc in." And I was like, "Oh dear." So I was like, "All right, well, let me go see if there's some funky thing." So I was like, "Okay, Clair Expedition 33 won't read." It's like, oh, if your Xbox is having trouble reading, check for updates, take the disc out, make sure it's clean. And I was like, I have never done anything with this disc. So pulled it out. I was like, yeah, it looks pristine. There's nothing wrong with this. There was nothing wrong with the Darksiders disc.
Did it play? But did it play?
No, neither one of them would play.
Do they play now?
Yes.
And that was because you had to do your online subscription.
No, I already had Game Pass. I just didn't.
So what was wrong with it?
Core or Essential or whatever they want to call it now. So yeah, I went and searched online, and it's like, okay, there's a known issue that if you have your Xbox set to power saver mode or sleep mode, like it can cause an issue. I'm like, okay,
that's stupid. That is completely stupid.
I went through, finally figured out, okay, here's where I need to go to look at the power settings and change it to standby mode to shut down. So now it'll shut down if it's sitting there for an hour.
Oh, idle.
Yeah, if it's sitting idle, it'll shut down. Did that, shut it down, booted it back up, and both games played. I'm just like, I don't
That is wild.
get it. So
That's wild. So
but,
I got some things to talk about tonight.
well, hold on, because we'll
I also sent you two trailers we could talk about.
so see it wouldn't even get this far when I was trying it previously. It would pop up to
Can
that
I ask
screen
you,
and then bump out to that warning screen.
is this the first time you've seen this?
Seen what?
This bug that you found?
Yeah. Like I've never had an issue
But
with
other
Xbox
people,
Series X.
obviously, if you look this up online, other people have had this issue before, right?
Yeah,
That's weird. Wow.
yeah. It's really weird. And like one of the things I did was when I shut in between trying to test things out, I was like, okay, let me shut it down because I've been playing for a little bit. It's like maybe there's something weird with the console getting warm, and it just um, didn't want to read because it was warm, so I shut it down for 10, 15 minutes. Friend came home and got ready to go to work, so I was like, I'll just hang out with her for a few minutes while she's home, and then I'll turn it back on. And yeah, that didn't fix it, but so I don't have the disc in for this.
That's so
So
wild.
like this popped up when the disc was in for Darksiders Genesis.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know if I go to the settings. Oh, you couldn't even see this. So yeah, this popped up when I hit play. I was like, no, I don't need to buy it. I've got a disc. And even though this game was last played from the disc, like it wasn't even churning the disc to see if it was there. But yeah, I had to go into the settings.
So if it was in rest mode,
Power options, and it was here. I had sleep mode turned on, so now it's shut down. And then I came over here and told it to shut down. And then as soon as I did that,
why would the console use more power if you're in sleep mode?
Sleep mode, no, sleep mode doesn't. It's not completely powered off.
Yeah, that I know.
As soon as you wake it up, it uses because that's why it uses more power. Shutdown is it's just pulling the normal slow trickle of energy. But sleep mode is okay. We're keeping the RAM going and everything else going. It's just at a very low usage comparatively.
I wonder if when you went into sleep mode, if it turned off the laser and wouldn't be able to read the disc.
The thing is that it hadn't been inactive, so I don't know. I don't know. It was weird because I was playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, one of the few games I picked up last year, and played this for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you've got a problem. We're not going to let you play anymore.
I've never had that happen.
Well, neither had I until
that's weird.
So it was really just bizarre. It was very, very bizarre.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I wouldn't be put things in sleep mode. I mean, I put the PlayStation 5 in sleep mode if I don't feel like doing the game or whatever. If I don't feel like playing the game anymore, then all of a sudden the game will turn on again, and I'll be I'll turn it on off of sleep mode, and I'm done, and I'm there, and I'm like, oh wow, this is interesting. It works totally fine. Never had a problem with it though.
Neither had I until this happened. And I didn't even I don't remember messing with the settings and telling it to be or go into sleep mode. Usually I power everything off at the end of the night. Like off. Let's switch everything off at the power strip so there's no juice coming to the system.
Well, I mean, who wants to pay extra electricity?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
That's
weird.
the way I think about it. But that's the thing with the price of going back to the talking specifically about the what's going on, Fat Russ? Fan still runs nonstop in sleep mode as well. Yeah, because it's trying to keep the system cool. And but that like Fat Russ, what systems? What do you have any of the current gen systems? And do you have any desire to pick up any of the new systems whenever they do come out? And I mean, do you saying like if they were going to release a new PlayStation next year, would you be like, oh yeah, I'm all over it? There's so many great games on the PlayStation 6. I can't just wait. I can't wait to see what they do with the PlayStation 6.
No, probably not. I'd wait like maybe 6 months.
6 months or a year. And the unfortunate thing seems to be like I think this is the first generation of consoles where the price of the consoles have gone up instead of going down.
It's just a lot of people are getting priced out with everything. So it is what it is.
But like, I really wonder if some of the like my me sitting there going like, yeah, it's fine. They're not maximizing what the consoles can do now. They're not optimizing the software as best as they can. They're not squeezing everything out like they used to back in the day. Those late releases for stuff like the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo. Like, oh man, yeah, there's so much, that just imagine some of the first generation games for the Sega Genesis, if they'd been released towards the end of its life cycle, how much better looking and possibly even playing.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Like Saturn, like everything else, pretty much.
So yeah, Fat Russ says he has all the current ones, but no desire to buy any new ones coming out in the future.
Yeah, who wants to do that?
Yeah, I mean, the only reason why I got an Xbox Series S initially was because it was a great deal. I was like, okay, well, I can play my digital library. I think out of pocket, it was like $50 for me. And then when I got the Series X digital, it was buddy working at Sam's Club's like, oh, hey, I know you're looking for one that has a disc, but this one got lost in inventory and was marked down to, we'll say around $200. I forget exactly what it was. It was around $200. I was like, oh, yeah, for that price, yeah, I'll grab it.
How do you get lost in inventory?
Have you never worked in or
No.
seen? Have you ever gone into a Costco or a Sam's Club or any store like that?
Yeah.
They lose stuff up in the racks and just in different places. That's why they do inventory. Because like when I worked at Sam's Club, there was, let's see, at least one pallet of computer desks. And like I got to work one day and the general manager was like, hey, can you go and look for these desks? All right, because they'd been marked down to like $20 because they'd been on file for so long. And as the longer something's in the system, they keep dropping the price because they want it gone. And like I was so irritated too because I wanted to buy one of those desks. I couldn't because I was working currently, But I found them. They pulled them down out of the steel. They put them out, and they were gone by the end of the day. And this is an entire pallet, and it's not like I found it in 5 minutes. I believe I spent 2 or 3 hours walking up and down. Okay. Going through like all of like they called the area I was in hard lines. So it had the electronics and it had all the other hard goods, none of the grocery or clothing stuff. And like I walked through all of that stuff 2 or 3 times, went in the back and looked around 2 or 3 times. I mean, all I had was here's the item number, and so I'm sitting here looking for that item number on these pallets. We'll say anywhere from 10 feet above my head to 20 feet above my head.
That's
And
wild.
yeah, but the thing is, like, stuff just gets lost. I mean, have you ever lost anything in your house?
Yeah, of course. And then I found it in my kids' room.
Well, this is pretty much the same thing because, like, somebody pulls something down out of the steel, it's not going to go back in that spot when they're done with it. But stuff's
Makes
just,
sense.
big stores, stuff gets lost, something gets stuck in the back corner, and nobody, you know, thinks, oh, hey, we need to put this out, and so it just goes ding ding ding. But so yeah, I got my Series X digital for, like I said, around $200 because it got lost in the system, and then when it got found, it had been marked down. And then the Series X with the disc, the local shop was doing their 5-year anniversary sale and had marked it down 50% off. They had a day where everything in the store was 50% off, and I was like, all right, $250. So for less than the price originally for a Series X, I got a Series X and I got a Series X digital and one with the disc. But when I had this scare right here, like one of the things I looked at was, okay, it was like $300 to get it serviced. And I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
just won't have a disk drive. The stupid thing is they need to allow you to hook up an external disk drive. Like, go to Amazon, buy a $30 DVD or Blu-ray drive or something that you can hook up externally to your console, and boom. That way, Microsoft and Sony don't have to make the drives themselves. They can let third parties do it, and then people that want a disk drive can buy one. People that don't want a disk drive can, not have one.
Oh, you mean like what PlayStation did?
No, but see, they made it. I'm saying let a third party do it.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
But like, if it wasn't for that, I don't think I would have gotten any of the new Xboxes. Like I said,
But you have a disc drive now, right?
yeah, I have one. I've got the Series S digital, which I probably just need to go ahead and sell that and get rid of it. But then I've got a Series X, which is the refrigerator, but I got the white one that's all digital, and then I got a black one that has a disc drive. So
why do they call it the refrigerator?
Because it looks like a refrigerator. It's just
Is
like
that
a
the one
mini. All the holes
the
in the
tall
top.
one? The tall one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, let me see. I'll take a picture of it with the flash on, so hopefully it'll pull it to the screen. And it'll be next to the 360. Looks like it might come out pretty well. Okay. But you'll be able to tell. Like, so there's the 360, and next to it is the refrigerator of the Series X with the disc drive.
Oh, I see what okay. I know which
So
one it is.
it looks kind of like a fridge, and then somebody because that was a joke, Microsoft actually ran with it and
made the fridge.
they made a fridge.
They made the mini fridge. I remember that.
Yeah, and see, Fat Russ knows he worked at a warehouse at Sears years ago, and stuff went missing all the time. Like, you'd put something up in the steel, and somehow it would vanish because so many people, on a forklift, pulling stuff out, putting it down, lifting it up, putting it someplace else. Overnight crew does stuff. Nobody knows where they put things because instead of having a pallet stacked this high, now it's only that high, and so they stick it down there and they stick something else on top of it, something else on top of that. So there was no way of keeping it.
Yeah, it's not
the same all the time. And so you'd have laundry detergent up at the front, even though it was always at the back, because like, okay, well, the guys in the forklift, when it was time to go, it was like, it doesn't matter where the stuff is, you find a spot for it. And there's nothing at the back of the store, you take it up front. But like, there's just like the PlayStation 6 delay means nothing to me. Microsoft's, we haven't heard anything of that. But like, there's not these huge jumps in the capabilities of the consoles. It's kind of like, you don't need we don't need a new generation every 8 years or 10 years or whatever. The funny thing is, when you talk generations, you're talking consoles. You're talking console video games. There are no generations for PCs.
It's stupid though. There is no generations for PCs now. Well, actually, technically, there is, but I mean, if you really want to get technical into it, yeah, there is. There's like sixth generation or like 10th generation
You're talking chips, not
processors.
games.
Yeah.
But see, that's not games. That's hardware in the systems. Because the thing is, like, if you want backwards compatibility, if you want something that will have, we'll say 90% plus backwards compatibility with it, for everything that was made, you go for a PC. Consoles don't do it. Consoles have a tough time with it, and
consoles are they
keep changing the architecture. But like, there's so few games that are modern games. And I'm like, oh yeah, I want to get this day one. I mean, Terminator 2 2D game that just came out. It's a retro styled game. Looks old. It has a pixelated look. I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I don't want to buy it for $30. I'll wait till
the one I have.
Yeah, the one that you have and have it open. I'll wait till I can get it for $5 or $10 digitally.
Or you can wait until I send it to you for TurboGrafx 16.
You'd have to include a lot more than that. There's the TurboGrafx 16 is probably close to $1,000.
It doesn't surprise me.
And I still I've got an EverDrive for it.
The TurboGrafx 16, like, we'll be honest. I know we've shot the breeze with that a long time, but honestly, if it was going to come down to it, I think probably the smarter decision would be to sell the TurboGrafx 16 with the games and buy a PC. I think that would probably be the smarter thing to do.
Like, I even have 2 of them.
The 2 EverDrives, yeah.
I have 2 EverDrives. And they don't work. There's some formatting or something I think I've got to do to get them to work properly. Whatever. But like, but back to the topic. Like, there's nothing. Like, there's so few new games that I'm like, oh yeah, I want to play that. Like, what was the last game that you heard called a system seller? I got to turn the fan on. It's hot. It was 76 degrees.
Lucky you.
When I got home. Oh, I'd love it if it wasn't.
I would love if it was 76 degrees. I sat in here today and it was very nice and warm.
No, dude, 76 degrees is way too warm.
You and I need to reverse. We need to reverse. I need to go by you. You need to come by me.
Why? I know I don't want to live in the snow.
I hate the snow. Can't stand the snow. I hate all of it.
You're living in the wrong state.
I am. My body is my soul is a Southern boy.
Right.
You're
not even in Southern New York.
I have a Southern boy soul with drinking whiskey off of the
New Yorker body. But yeah, so see, Terminator 2D is so much fun, and like it's not a matter of if I will pick up Terminator 2D, it's when. But like that's a game that they could probably make it for the 360. They could, and the PS3. They could probably have made it for the GameCube and the original Xbox. They could have
That's true.
They probably could have made it something. It may not look as sharp and crisp, but they could have made that for the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo. So, like, it's interesting that, and it might just have to do with our age, or ages, I should say, that the games that we're interested in or that really catch our interest have that older style, and are from franchises that are older. You know, like I've just played through Terminator Resistance. Well, it's a game that takes place basically, it happens before the original Terminator movie.
Really?
But, well, I say that because it's set in the future, but the things that happen in the game, like you're like, oh, like it kind of tells a story that lead up to the first movie, even though it's in the future. So I thought it was pretty cool. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I mean, there's just you know
I just don't. I honestly, I mean, like, I'll be honest with you. There was some game, God something, Godfall, well, yeah, I think it was like Godfall, and it was for PlayStation 5 when it first came out. And I was like, damn, that looks great. I bought a PlayStation 4 for Dying Light, and Dying Light was not coming out on PlayStation 3. It was a PlayStation 4, that type of stuff. And I said, I have to play Dying Light. It looks absolutely amazing. I got Dying Light and I started playing it, and I love the game ever since. And I'm a big fan of the Dying Light series. Yes, that was a game that sold me. Godfall was another game that sold me on the PlayStation 5. And I was like, wow, this is like an amazing, it's an amazing game. Like, this looks really, really good.
But how
Great.
soon were those games released after launch? Like
Godfall was launch. Godfall was like at launch.
Okay, but could they have made a PlayStation 4 version of it?
I don't think so. The graphics were insane on Godfall when it first came out. I don't think
know anything about it, so I'll take your opinion. Take what you're saying, but
no, I don't.
I doubt that, because at the beginning of a console generation, like, there's not that big of a difference between last gen and the next gen. Like, it's a little shinier, but that's it. So, like Fat Russ is saying, the only game he's looking forward to is the new Resident Evil game.
Yeah, I mean, like, that could run on, that could definitely run. I mean, PlayStation 5, yes. They've imported it to the Switch, which makes me kind of think, can that Resident Evil play on PlayStation 4? So, I mean, I get it. There's nothing I'm looking forward to with the new consoles or any of that. I could care less about maybe all of it, unless if they're going to have some like really, really insane banger that's going to come out, which I highly doubt. It's just going to be another thing, and that's pretty much it. I could care less.
If the new console costs $1,000, does it make spend $1,000 on a console, or you're much better off spending $1,000 and getting a computer, because you can do so much more with
$1,000 will get you diddly for a computer. I'll tell you that right now.
No, you can get a decent computer. I mean, I've been watching them for a while. Ones that I have had saved on Amazon. I don't know if they've all sold out yet.
Yeah, but it depends. Like, it depends on what, like, what you consider a decent computer.
Your decent computer, you're not going to be able to play the newest game at 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second with the graphics all maxed out. But you can turn the graphics down some and still play the game and not have any issues. Like, I'm playing a game that was released last year on my PC that's 10 years old, Satisfactory. And that one gets crazy with how much is going on the screen and throughout the game. And like, it runs fine on my 10-year-old computer. The thing is, do you want something that will play games, or do you want something that will play games at the highest fidelity? If that's the case, then no, you need to spend $2,000 on a computer.
Yeah, but then if you get a basic computer, the console is going to outbeat the computer, because the computer is going to be like, the console is going to be better than the computer.
It depends it depends on what you do with it. And right, it may be at launch that may be true, but a year or two later it won't be true. Because the set hardware, because you can't get, you could probably get something stronger than an Xbox Series whatever and a PlayStation 5 for $800. Because you don't have to have DDR5. You can get DDR4 memory. That's a lot more affordable, and you can get good graphics cards.
I don't
And that's why it's
know.
just like, but does it make sense to go on and keep buying consoles that are becoming more and more like computers?
The
'Cause even
the PlayStation Pro is compared to a 47, I believe a 4070 Ti, which is
to a what?
like 4070 Ti, which is the graphics card. So the PlayStation 5 Pro is like enhanced graphics. Okay, so if you're gonna get a computer that's gonna have a lower graphics card, like the 4060, or I believe there was a 4030, I would have to personally say that you're getting like kind of like a mid-tier computer with, let's say some RAM. And is it going to run slow? Yes. Is it not going to be able to play like the newest games, at whatever 60 frames or 120 or whatever it is? Yeah, it's not going to. But I mean, you're going to have to it's a lot of stuff for a computer that you have to factor in. Okay, it's not only just a graphics card. That's the thing behind it. It's the graphics card, it's the processor, and it's the RAM, and it's the
But
RAM
out
on
of
the
all of
graphics
that
card too.
for a computer, what is the most expensive thing? Individual thing.
Eh,
It's the graphics card.
Right, but you also have to understand that you need fans on the
So
processor.
no, look, I'm looking at a computer on Amazon right now, $920. An AMD
Share your
Ryzen
screen.
5,
Let's see this.
7600, 3.8 gigahertz, GeForce RTX 4060, 8 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes of DDR5, a 500 gigabyte solid state drive.
Oh boy, look at this guy. Did you
So for another $100, you can up some of that stuff. You
share
can.
this? Let's see what let's see what it looks like.
Itty bitty us. I mean, we can go and look at the store.
Okay, so this right here, if you scroll up, because it has everything in whatever it is.
Well, it's all right here.
So your
With a little
ADM
more information.
Riser 5, okay, they're on 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. So you're already 4 years old with the ADM. With the ADM riser. You're already old with that.
Yeah.
So
how old are the current consoles?
the current yeah, but you would have to see how much processing power the PlayStation 5 has versus stuff like this. The what's going for it is the RTX 4060, and it's an 8 gig video card. That's actually very good. That's a kind of, you're about 40, so 4060 70, 4070, 4080, and then I think, was there a 4070, and then no, it was a 4070 Ti Super, and then they went to I believe there was a 4080, and then you went up to the 5 series. So everything here is like about 3 years old, 4 years old. Now you have a 500 gigabyte PCI SSD.
Yeah.
So that personally should be updated to a terabyte. I mean, 500.
But you can add that. I mean, how much does a 1 terabyte hard drive cost? Not much.
I mean,
for a computer, not much.
Not much at all. But I mean, like, 16 gigabytes of DDR5, which is the newest set of RAM that's out there. DDR5 is the newest set. I mean, for 909, for maybe $200 more, could you get a better computer? Yes,
Oh
because
yeah,
you have to play a lot of things in here because your RAM is going to be slow. I mean, granted, you're going to have 12 cores. I get that, no problem, but it's an EDM and a NVIDIA which work hand in hand together. You don't go Ryzen, or like with their graphics card. So, most people say usually go ADM and then NVIDIA GeForce. Honestly, the graphics card is good. The RAM is good. The processor could be better, and the hard drive could be better.
yeah. But this
So,
is, like I said, it's $920.
but see, now your other problem you have to take into account with all of this is your fan system and the way something is set up.
The fans are
So
fine.
that's no, that's something you need to. So you need to think
The fans are right there. The
when you
fans
look.
are there.
No, when you look into a computer and you're looking at a five. A five is okay for that type of fan that's on there, but that's going to be direct overheating with thermal paste. But if you go for six and above, like a writer, Ryzen 6, Ryzen 7, or whatever it is, you're going to need to have some sort of fan or intercooler system on top of that. Um, on top of that
That all depends
processor.
on it depends on the ambient room temperature.
Yeah, but for a thing like that, cased up with the fans, and you only have three fans, one fan in the back,
You've
and
got four fans.
it's four fans, but you have to understand that, yeah, you have the fans, and I know that case because the PC that I have, another PC I have, is that exact case. You can stick fans at the bottom as well, but you only have the vent that's at the top, and then that's it. So really, the other case is sealed except for that one small vent. You're definitely going to need more ventilation with it. That's going to get hot. It's going to get hot because that graphics card, you're going to be pushing on the graphics card. You're going to be pushing on the
You mean like
processor.
the PlayStation 5 gets hot and the Xbox Series gets hot? They
Yeah,
all get hot.
right, but PCs tend to get a little bit hotter than those because you got more workings with them.
Yeah, and how many fans does the Xbox Series have?
I don't
Two?
know. I don't know.
Maybe?
PlayStation has two, and they're
Maybe two?
I think they're 140 NNs, or I think they're 140 NNs. I think.
Yeah, so I for $1,000 you're better off getting a PC, I think. It doesn't really matter because it's more than just console gaming. Or more than just gaming.
I
That's
mean,
why if the Switch box is like $1,000, most people are going to check out.
I agree 1,000% with you on that one. I
So
agree
they'll do the
a
same thing with
thousand percent.
a console.
1,000% with you on that. Like I have, for me, I have.
Then I'm not sure what we're even going on about.
Oh, we're talking about PCs. Like I have a 5060. I have a 5060 Ti. I have 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM or DDR7. I forgot what the newest gen RAM is. Um, two 1 terabyte SSD hard drive. So I have 2 terabytes.
Did that come with the computer or did you order it?
No, that came with the computer.
But was it a pre-built or did you specify what you wanted?
It was a pre-built. The RAM was pre-built.
But when you went through it, you selected what you wanted. That wasn't.
No, it was from Best Buy, and it was $1,600 when I originally bought it, and I got money off. I got the case free because the slots on the top of my case and on the side were not cut. They were not vented at all, and the computer was running at 152. And I said, "Why is the computer running as hot as anything? You would touch the glass, it would feel hot." And basically, when I wrote the company, they said, "Take off this stuff I did," and they said, "Okay, well, here your vents are not venting properly; they're sealed. That's a factory problem that the machine didn't cut the vents correctly." So they sent me a new case, and they, instead of sending me the Y60, they sent me the Y70. And then I had the graphics card. I had the 4070 Ti, which came with the computer. So I took the graphics card out, added in a new graphics card, and I updated all the fans with Crosshair. All my fans are Crosshair. The intercooler is Crosshair. Um and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 fans total on the entire computer, and running Elden Ring at 120 frames per second. Is running at 120 frames per second, pushing out the computer only gets to 102 degrees.
Yeah, but what is the ambient temperature in your room most of the time?
75, 76.
Yeah, that's warmer than most people keep their house.
Well, it's because I have everything in this room, but I mean, it is.
That's what I'm saying. That plays a part in it too. You need more airflow because of how warm it is in that room, and that's just it. Just is what it is. You know, it's not the end of the world, but you've had issues with your PlayStation 5 overheating, haven't you?
Right, and that I found out why. That was because the original PlayStation 5s didn't the original first PlayStation 5s had venting issues, and they also had issues with the stand sitting the way it was. And the thermal paste on it wasn't that good. So I had to replace the thermal paste, and I put new fans in the system, and it worked fine. I mean, it doesn't look. Yeah, the PlayStation 5 Pro's, yeah, CPU, okay.
Look, 2 stars versus 4 stars. This is just something I quickly threw into ChatGPT. That Ryzen 5 7600, based through whatever it did, it said that it was better.
Oh, of course. I mean, the Ryzen 5 is going to be all right, but then you got to understand, like, PlayStation is the PlayStation 5 Pro isn't. I don't have the Pro. I don't give a crap about the Pro. But
Yeah,
I mean,
well, that's what I'm saying. That's what the whole thing that we were trying to say is, if you're going to spend $1,000 on a gaming thing, you're much better off getting a PC than a console.
which is true, yeah. But most people can't afford PCs, and they buy the console because the console's cheaper.
But we're saying if they're the same price, like,
Oh, if they're the same price.
he doesn't have a PC, he can't afford one.
Yeah, if the PC and the console are the same price, then I'm definitely going with the PC. There's no question about it.
But you've been arguing with me the whole time,
No.
and I've been saying this: if you had $1,000, would you get a console or a PC? And I said you'd better off be getting a PC.
Right. You're better off getting a PC if the PC is going to go over the benchmark of what the new gen console is going to be. That's the way I see it. That's what. Now, keep in mind, I'm the retard that has, the and I'll be honest with you, the computer that I have is $4,000, and the moron has it sitting over here, and I watch YouTube videos and Crunchyroll on it every day. Do I push the PC for what I should push it for? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm a moron. Like, I have Cyberpunk 2077 enhanced, where I ran it on the PC for like 2 days, and I have a graphics card that overclocks 3 separate cores. It's stupid that I don't use it for what I need to use it for, and it just sits there.
You bought more than what you needed.
It's way more than what I need. Way more. I could farm Bitcoin on the stupid thing if I wanted. It's way more than what I did not need a 5060 Ti in there. I could have been happy with the 4070. But
so why don't you use it?
I don't. That's an excellent question. Why? Because here's the wall, here's childhood, here's banging your head against the wall with I grew up consoles. Everything was putting a cartridge in a game, putting a cartridge in a console. Everything was doing this or that. I had a PC to go online and maybe play Duke Nukem, to try to hack Duke Nukem, to try to get the girls with no bras on. Or Doom came out. Whoa, Doom. Can Super Nintendo handle Doom? And can Genesis handle Doom? Yeah, they can, but Doom was, to an extent. I mean, yeah. But I had a PC growing up, and I use it for LimeWire, and I use it for all of that and everything else. But that's mainly what we used PC for, is back in the day. No one really thought we're going to ultimate and game on a PC. At least I didn't, because I wasn't into World of Warcraft.
I remember when we had to get a mouse so that we could play a game that I had bought for the PC.
Wow.
Yeah,
Games on PC weren't like they are now.
but they were always better. They were always ahead.
I mean, yeah, they were always ahead. I mean, they were always
But
ahead.
like I mentioned earlier, like early on, it could be a pain to get a game running because I think we were still using DOS, and that game we needed a mouse for. Like there was a special set of instructions that you had to put in to tell it to use expanded memory so that you could run the game.
Oh wow.
And it was it was a little bit more difficult or it could be a little bit more difficult to play some of the PC games back in the day. But you
I
were
mean,
rewarded with some really cool looking and playing games.
no, you're right. You're totally right about that. You're totally right about that. I mean, there were a lot of really good games. Doom was phenomenal. I love Doom. When it came out on PC, I played Duke Nukem to no end. Hexen and a Heretic. I played those like to no end, like no end. I thought they were phenomenal games. I was like, wow, this is great. I'm like really enjoying these games. I had a lot of fun with them. There was one thing, Mario something. And he had like a bunch of stuff that was in there, and he would turn around and be like, hey, it's me, Mario. And then I remember his stupid joke was, oh, you're Jamaica me crazy. Um, it was some board game stuff or whatever. Uh, Duke Nukem though, wow, that game was wild. And I played on keyboard and mouse,
Yeah.
and there was no controller support back then. It was keyboard and mouse. Jeez, wow.
There were controllers, but most games didn't include that.
Flight Simulator was boop. That was
I mean,
great.
I don't have it out, but I've got actually no, I do. Hold on a second. I will show you a giant Sidewinder controller.
Oh boy, we better get the dust off of this one.
No, you don't have to get the dust off of it because I had this sitting on it. Oh,
I don't even know what that is.
that was the re-released Galaxy Explorer Lego. So, giant controller. Not like the
That's a PC controller?
yeah. I mean, here's one of the other ones that I had. And I mean, like before USB, this big connection, 6-button. This was actually pretty comfortable controller, but it had a mode button, and if you hit that, like it messed stuff up. So I took the mode button out.
That is wild. That's wild.
There's the power brick for the controller.
Theft deterrent system, anyone?
Like it even had a CD.
Hey, someone broke into my house. I threw my Genesis power block at them, and then
But there it is.
that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, 4 buttons on the top. You got the trigger. You got buttons over here. You got your throttle over here. You got a shift over here. So,
Well, I don't think it should be new to anyone on the channel, or if you're just stopping in or seeing this in the VOD. But he has a obsession with controllers.
yet I am actually thinking about getting rid of the Steel Battalion controller.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
So big.
It is, and I have mine, and I'm setting mine up when I move, and I'm gonna have solely the Xbox with the Steel Battalion controller.
I gotta try to remember how this whole thing was put in here. Should have taken a picture.
I'll tell you right now, it is kind of hard to sell that because not a lot of people want it.
Yep, I'd take it to the local shop. Maybe try to consign it instead of just straight out selling it. Although who knows how long it would take for someone to come along that would actually want it.
You could hook it up to the PC. I'm playing on the
Do
PS,
what?
but you could hook it up to the PC.
I've tried. I never could get it to work. I downloaded the files and all these other things. So I was like, dude, if I could play Mech Commander with it,
Uh,
I would play it. I could never get it to work.
Interesting.
Everything that was in this gigantic box. I know, the other controller. Why is that one? I don't even know if you can get an adapter for these things. That to USB, which, to be honest, like I said, this was a pretty comfortable controller.
It looks nice.
It's actually a Microsoft controller. Bloop. Bloop. I mean, look at that price tag. $146.
You didn't pay $146
No.
for that, right?
No, but it came with 3 games. And this one had force feedback.
Oh,
This was for Windows 95. I'll give you an idea of how old it is.
that is pretty old. That is pretty old.
Another picture of it. And away it goes.
So let's see. Now that we've
No,
vetted
so
all of this out,
what's the point in getting another console?
there is no point.
Yeah. But I wonder if that is different for kids.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is different for kids. Kids are
Because
like, if you don't have the newest console at your, like, that's all they do is like crap on each other. Oh, well, I have the newest console. I have PlayStation 5. Well, then it becomes, well, I have 2 PlayStation 5s in my house. And then it's like, well, I have 3 PlayStation 5s in my house. And then it's like, well, I have like 3 PlayStation 5s and a computer in my house. And
Is
you
that
know,
what your kids say?
yeah, like Dave, yeah, like I bought my kid a PlayStation 4 and he was playing on the 4, and then his friends were like, well, we all have 5s. Why are you still on a 4? And then he got made fun of because he was on a 4. And it was like, well, you have a 4, you can't afford a 5, you can't afford a 5. And it was like they would do that. And then this is what I swear this is what they do. And now it's like now he has a PlayStation 5 and it's, and then kids are like, oh well, I have this, and oh, I have 2, like one of my kids would turn around and said, oh well, my dad has a Switch too. And the kid was the kid's fault. The kid was like, and this is for like 3rd grade, the kid was like, oh well, I have 2 Nintendo Switches too. I have 2 Nintendo 2 Switches. I have one, my father has one, and we have 2 PlayStation 5s in the house. Yeah. Yeah, it's sick. Maybe it's only here in NY, but it's sick.
Probably not. But most of those kids are probably lying with what they've got as well. But it's always sometimes keeping up with the Joneses is even worse with the kids. But do they actually care about owning it and are they actually playing it is my thing.
No, I think they play it. I think they play all the time, yeah.
But like I think for us, like why Ultimate Game Pass for collectors in general, just people like, no, dude, that's just too much. I can't. I think part of it is like we got all these games we haven't played, all this history we haven't even gone into and played
This is
yet,
a gigantic backlog.
and it's like $30 a month. Well, I can buy 2 games or 3 games with that, and like the value is really, if you have to be playing day one games, you got to play it the day it's released. Then I think it's a really good value because was it 6.5 games and it pays for itself if you don't have to buy them. And the thing is, how often do you go back and play most of your library that you've already beat? Like there's games I want to go back and play, but I'm like, I can't do that because I want to get some of this other stuff beat that I've already got.
I agree. I agree completely. But now we're getting into games. So if we are getting into games and we're going down that rabbit hole of all this conversation,
But the thing is, the only reason you buy a new console should be for the games. So
I guess.
What else do you do with a console? There's nothing else to do with a console.
Throw it at someone you hate.
That just seems like a waste of time and money. But I mean, you buy a console to play games. That's it. Like there might be other things you do in addition to that, but people weren't buying a Wii for Netflix. They were buying a Wii to play Wii Sports, a game. That's why everyone was always like to say, "Oh, this game is on this system. This game is on this system," because it meant something. But when a new console comes out and there's no games for it, everyone's like, there's no point in buying this console. Like Switch 2, there's just a handful of games. They're like, oh yeah, that's great. But there's nothing to play on it. You can play your old games. Well, you can play your old games on the original Switch. Some of them have, you can get new
the downloads.
You can get updated graphics and stuff for it. But yeah, it's just like there's not much rhyme or reason to picking that up. Like you don't need a new console just for that. And here we go, Fat Russ. I got too much crap. Most of it I barely get around to playing. Exactly. And like this is like, I don't know if it has something to do with doing the 12 game buying challenge last year, but almost every time I turn on my Xbox, I go and look and see what the deals are. And I'm like, I don't need to buy any more games.
No, really. Yeah.
But I go and I look and I'm like, oh. And so I'm sitting here adding games to my wish list. I do the same thing on Steam. Like my wish list in Steam is growing. And every once in a while, I might go and prune a couple games out of it. But you're constantly adding games to it. And we'll do the games I picked up at Rocket City Retro Fest. I think I got some decent games, but there was a couple games I got for 50 cents each. I was like, for 50 cents each, I can try that. There were 360 games.
No case, obviously, right?
Yeah, they were loose discs, but I've got albums. I can go and buy cases if I'm worried about it. And like let's see, I was able to put the discs in and start them, and I could actually just play it. I didn't have to wait for an entire game to install. So I was like, okay, at least they start up. I've got that. So
I mean, it's interesting. So you're getting now with the console stuff, we're talking about games.
Yes.
So
not looking at the trailer yet.
I sent you 2 trailers.
Not looking at those yet.
All right. And then there's also big news about games, that a game that is driving everyone crazy because everyone heard it today and it hit and it's on the news is like maybe 5 hours old, 6 hours old.
Okay, is it like spoiler news?
It's not. I mean, not really spoiler news. I wouldn't say.
Okay, so like a game announcement or
It's an old game that's getting re-released.
everything is getting re-released? Okay, what game is it?
So the game that is definitely in production that is getting re-released is going to be Chrono Trigger, and this hit the this like everybody's like talking about this now. Chrono Trigger, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Trigger. So apparently, I guess Square put in a. I don't know how these people find patents, or like, oh, there was a patent that went out. There was a patent that went out. Oh my god, a patent! But these people are like saying, "Whoa!" Like a patent went out for Chrono Trigger, and oh my god, like really? Yeah, a patent went out for Chrono Trigger, and people are going nuts over. Like, yeah, we're getting Chrono Trigger. We're definitely getting Chrono Trigger.
Yeah,
So
well, I'm looking at, like, I just went to the homepage for me for YouTube, went to gaming. I don't see anything about it. Not one thing. There's some Resident Evil Requiem stuff. I don't see one thing. No, I'm not going to bother like pulling it up. I was like, okay, if it's that big of a deal, let's see what's on my YouTube homepage.
So
Nothing,
it's
nothing.
because you're not into RPGs, so
But I'm
I
in
get
the gaming.
right, and it's newly Chrono Trigger remake in development.
Yeah, I don't think their algorithm is that good. It's, are you
Eight
into gaming and retro gaming? So now
huge
I'll go
Chrono
look at
Trigger remake coming to
retro
Switch
gaming.
2. Yeah, it's Chrono Trigger HD2 remake now possible. Just it's crazy. Like it just hit like it hit the thing today, and I saw it. Like there's already 4 people talking about it, 5 people talking about it. So it's big news.
All right. Well, I'm now looking at my subscription just to see if, because sometimes the algorithm is absolute garbage and doesn't really feed what you want. So people, go look at your subscriptions so you can actually get some of the stuff that you actually want to see from some of the creators that you want to see it from, and support them. Like Saiyan and I, and Sega
Mm.
dudes. And maybe it'll be all over everywhere tomorrow because everyone's trying to get their videos rendered and whatnot now.
True. Yeah,
So
definitely.
I mean, if it does, we could possibly actually just do a quick thing tomorrow talking about it. And I mean, I might be in the minority, but it does not matter at all to me. I hope it crashes the price of Chrono Trigger.
I hope so too.
I hope it just absolutely crashes the price of Chrono Trigger. And that's just because, like, it gets tiresome hearing people talk about the price of games. It's like, well, is the game any good? Is it worth playing? So I'll say Chrono Trigger is one that I would say a lot of people would say it's a good game, but most of the people who are talking about it, I doubt they've even ever played it.
It is a good game.
But I think most people, it's just something to talk about. Oh yeah, XYZ game is really expensive. Is it worth playing? Is it worth actually paying that? Which to me, there's no game that's worth paying what some of those. If they cost more than $60, there's no game that's worth that.
No, I get it. I just think it's inflated. It's a I believe it's just a price inflation for Chrono Trigger at this point.
It is, but I think it's kind of along the lines of Pokemon that
I hate that.
the like it
The
is
whole
not a rare
Pokemon.
game. Pokemon's not a rare game. It's not even. I don't think it's even an uncommon game. I think it is a common game, but sellers have done a good job of making it feel like it is a rare game, so people are paying up for it when they don't
Okay.
need to. And that's why the prices are crazy, because sellers hold on to them because the demand is high, but I think the supply is readily available.
Though it is readily available for Pokemon. There's no question about it.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. Sellers hold on to it, or they just ask higher prices and people are paying it.
Right. I agree. I completely agree.
One person
I
sold one
completely
copy
agree.
for twice what it should have, and now everyone thinks that's what it's worth. It's like, oh wait,
Yeah,
well,
it's
maybe
all
I can
gold
get it.
because there's like 3 copies that went out. Yeah, there's like 3 copies that went out, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's gold." It's true, completely true. Oh, I got gold. I got gold. Chrono Trigger's like, "Oh, shut up."
Yeah, I think you could throw Earthbound in there too.
Totally agree with you on that one.
They can be good games, but like everyone thinks that it's like the next best thing since sliced bread.
It's funny you brought up Earthbound because I was talking to a friend last night about Earthbound, and I said there's 2 times in my life that I could have gotten it, and I said the first time was at Toys R Us when I was growing up, and I could have got Earthbound, and instead I settled for what was it? Illusions of Gaia with the shirt. So I never got Earthbound. The second time was Blockbuster closing, and I could have picked up Earthbound Big Box, and I didn't. So the only other when I went to the show, I made sure I had tons of trade stuff, and it was the hottest stuff, which was Pokemon, and that's why I did what I did. And I think the stream froze. No, the stream froze. No, did it freeze? Wow, that's crazy. Look at him. Look at the way he looks. Oh, I think it
Okay,
froze.
it did. The last thing I think I heard was Toys R Us.
No, it was Toys R Us and it was Earthbound.
And you got the Luna
Um
guy that came with the T-shirt,
right.
and
And then
then
it was Blockbuster was
Blockbuster,
closing.
and then
And
at
that
that
was it.
convention.
And then it was a convention. But I set my mind like, listen, this is
Bing,
what I
bing,
want.
bing, 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 bing.
But I had the games for it. I had
Pokemon.
all those stupid Pokemon games. So
Yeah, and going along with what Fat Russ said, like Pokemon does not matter to me. Pokemon Snap was fun because it was something that Prin will play and the Munchkin will play, but like the RPGs, that is basically the same game with a different skin, and they tweak a couple things. Like I don't get it, but you know, people eat it up, and I really maybe the next time I go to a convention, I need to ask, like, are you a fan of Pokemon? Of the Pokemon games? Like, oh yeah, I've got da 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 da. Have you played it? Any of them recently? And just ask people that question. Not get in. Oh, okay. Well, why haven't you played them? Or you're like, well, if you bought them, why haven't you played them? Or anything? Just like ask. Are you a big fan of the Pokemon games? Do you collect the Pokemon games? Have you played any of them recently? No. Okay. Maybe just follow up with like, is there any reason for that? Oh, because I want to play all the new stuff. Then why are you collecting old games?
stupid. Even the new ones suck.
I know you weren't a fan of whatever that new one was. It was a bit of a letdown.
So Pokemon Black, complete is one something. I just
That was
looked
the
that up.
DS game, right? Black and white.
Hmm. Then there's Pokemon Platinum. Platinum version. That's $200. Do I own that? Pokemon Platinum version, yeah.
I might need to
And
see.
then,
Munchkin has, I believe we bought her Pokemon Black and White DS. She might still have the box for that too.
ooh, that's worth it to get rid of.
Might sell that. But here, pay for a few of your meals while you're off at school.
Complete box prices. I'm just looking at it. Yeah, it's crazy the way everything is. I mean, just like Pokemon Omega Ruby and Sapphire double pack, $427. Do you want to pay $427 for that? I mean, no.
Definitely not.
And then it's crazy because the DS games for Pokemon are expensive, but then the 3DS games are cheap. They're all $40. Explain that to me.
Because the 3DS hasn't kicked up yet.
It's because the games are not the people aren't stupid and they know that the 3DS game sold by the millions, so they really can't do anything about raising up the price.
That the others sold by the millions too. But the thing is, the kids that had nostalgia for the original Pokemon probably aren't to the point of having nostalgia for the 3DS games. Or they didn't even play the 3DS games, and so they don't have any nostalgia for it. Because a lot of the collecting kickoff and stuff is like, oh yeah, I have a bunch of nostalgia for that. The other thing could be because some of them, or a good chunk of them, still have it. They still have their 3DS games.
Probably.
Because they were old enough to be like, oh, well, I'm not getting rid of these this time. Whereas a kid, a lot of people got rid of all of the games they had when they were kids.
Right, that's true.
Crazy people.
So
the one time I thought about getting rid of some games and trading them in, I took 7 games. They were going to give me $8 in trading credit. And I was like, it was EB Games. So it was before GameStop had bought them out. And it was like, nope. And granted, they were Sega Genesis games, and it was toward the end of the Sega Genesis life cycle. And I think Amazing Saga Mutant Fighter was the one that was worth $2. Everything else I took was like $1. And I held on to all of those games, and it was a good thing. So I have my entire childhood Genesis library.
yeah, so do I.
And after that, I was like, I'm not trading games in. And the only time I've traded games in was one of the times I was working at Sam's Club, and a game that Sam's Club was selling was worth more as trade-in credit than the game was what we were selling for at Sam's Club with a player's guide. The stupid thing was GameStop had to cut open the games, even though that they were factory sealed. But they were still worth more than what I paid for them. So, whatever. I still came out ahead of that.
That's crazy, though. I wonder why.
Because they had to check to make sure that the games were in there. And I mean, like I said, that didn't matter to me because there were PlayStation games. I don't remember what it was. Say I bought them for $15 with the player's guide, and it might have been one of those cases where they were trying to clearance them out, and I bought like 3 copies of them or something, and just got rid of them because I was like, hey, I can spend $30 and get $45 or $50 in trading credit.
Really?
Yep.
No, I don't. No.
But that was, again, it was original PlayStation games. So obviously,
yeah, but you had no need for PlayStation games.
Huh?
You have no need for PlayStation games.
Exactly. This was like in 1999. I didn't have a PlayStation. I didn't collect for PlayStation. I bought PlayStation games to go and trade in.
That's crazy.
And I made money off it.
That's crazy. Yeah, because I know PlayStation is PS2 is up there right now. A lot of people are collecting for PS2 and stuff. Like everybody's pushing PS2. I don't know why, but everybody's pushing PS2. So
Because I don't think anything after the PlayStation 2 or after the 5th gen is really going to be all that collectible. Well, actually, no, sorry, 6th gen. PlayStation 2 is 6th gen. Because 7th
PS3
gen,
is
PS3, 360, Wii are 7th gen. And the downfall of those is most of those games were produced in the millions. Not only were they produced in the millions, you could get them digitally. So if you kept your console, well, you still got your digital library that you can play. So you don't need to go buy a physical copy.
no, you're right.
And seventh gen forward, like for me personally, yeah, I like having discs, but I really enjoy the convenience of having it digitally. Like if Claire Expedition 33 went on sale right now for $5, I would buy it digitally, hands down, no second thought. Like, cool, I've got a disc now and I've got it digitally. And there's been times when I was like, oh, I feel like playing something else. I was like, oh, I don't want to take Expedition 33 out, so I guess I just won't play. I'll just go play something digitally.
I could see that.
And it's totally just, being 110% lazy. So I don't want to take the game out because I know I'm gonna have to put it back in come Tuesday as long as I don't fall asleep after dinner. And and I mean it's totally silly, but it's just we get these weird mind blocks on what we can and can't do, and
what we can and can't play, and that's why I'm happy. I am 98% done with Octopath Traveler.
Well, you need to closet yourself indoors for the weekend and do that final push and get it beat. And then you say, I love this game. I'm so happy I never have to play it again.
I probably wouldn't play it. I mean, I would play it again, but not from start to finish anymore. No, I would do it. I would choose other people, like other characters in my party, and then go from there.
But do you think you would ever play through the game again?
Not entirely in full, no. Absolutely not. Not to grind it like that ever again.
So you'd play it, but you wouldn't play it to beat it.
I'm gonna go look out. Okay, so there's 40 characters, 30-something characters in the game. I'll go back and play it to have different characters and different combinations on the team, but I won't start from the beginning and play through the entire game again. No.
Yeah. No, you want to be able to go back, look at the characters, see how they attack, see what their movement stats and stuff are, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. That I get. Especially if it's a game that you really enjoy. I mean, that's what should happen. Even if you don't feel like beating the game in its entirety again, you should be like, dude, I want to go back and I want to see, this character looked interesting, but I didn't have the time or whatever to go and level them up, so I don't know how well they would have worked or whatever. I mean, I think that's really how a game should be.
No, it's hey, I have these really cool characters that I wanted to use them in the game. I didn't have time to use them. Well, let me go back and try it again.
Yep. I really think that's how a game should be, and you should have fun with games. They shouldn't be an annoyance. All that other fun stuff.
I agree.
Oh.
So, I mean, between Chrono Trigger, that noise, we'll find out more tomorrow. Definitely find out more tomorrow. But I don't know how these people know about this, but whatever.
Well, the thing is, there's people who have insiders and they get insider information and they have all this other hoo-ha, doo-dah, whippity doo-dah, zippity-yay contacts, and they have the pages saved, or they get emailed when there's new patents that are released, or they have Nintendo's patent page saved so they can go and look and see what Nintendo, if there's any new patents from Nintendo or Sega or Microsoft or Sony or whoever.
They have a lot of garbage.
They put a lot of time and effort into it.
Well, that's true. So yeah, I mean we covered a lot tonight. I mean it's
Yeah.
like the games and everything else in this, and I mean yeah, I agree with you completely. That's the way a game should be. You shouldn't have to go back and replay the game all over again. You know, you have a like as a good RPG, you have a multitude of characters where you can go choose different combinations of characters after you're done with your main team and see how they play out. And you could play any area in the game. Yes, you can play any area in the game and go back and take it from there and then see how it is.
That is actually kind of neat.
I could go to any area in the game and play and go back to different areas. They even have a monster arena where the bigger monsters that I fight in the game, I can go back and fight them in the monster arena and still gain experience and still gain certain items from them. So I can always fight them over and over again. There's no like, oh, you beat the monster, now you can't go back and fight the monster again. That's not true.
That is kind of nice. I will say that is kind of nice.
So you get the monster arena, you go back in, you fight. It's interesting.
So can you go there now and grind?
I'd go to
Experience?
the monster arena right now and fight if I wanted to, yeah.
Okay.
And I get different items every time I beat them.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's gonna go play that now.
No. No. I mean, I'm really enjoying Expedition 33, but like, I'm not. Let me see if I can figure out roughly how far I am in the game. Um, it's one that I think I could enjoy playing again because of the combat system, but I don't think that I will play it again anytime soon. Unfortunately.
Like I do, I really just want to do a good, nice video game haul where I just buy like a bunch of video games on eBay, like get like a nice good video game haul going. But why would I want to do that if I'm gonna move and stuff? Just wait and then move, set everything up. Because I have a feeling that when I move and I set everything up, I am going to have a ton load of games that I'm going to be displaying. A lot of games.
Well, I mean, just packing them up.
Four
It's
400 Genesis games is no three. It's not 400. It's like three. No, it's 325. Let's be realistic with numbers here. So 325, 325 Genesis games. That's a lot, and especially when you own three Atomic Kids, and I didn't even know I owned three Atomic Kids, and I own like two of Ranger X. I mean, yeah, it's kind of crazy, but what am I gonna do?
uh,
I will tell you this much: we're talking about consoles. We were talking about everything. I think the next console I will definitely buy will be the Analog Duo, hands down. I have a large volume
and that's
of
already out, right?
yes,
Okay.
I have a large volume of PC Engine games, and I do not plan to stop with.
But see,
Um,
that's a new console to play old games, so that's.
I don't plan to stop collecting for PC Engine.
No,
Until
that's
I'm
fine. But I mean, like, it's not a next gen console. It's an old something to play old games. It's a new console to play old games. It's not a new console to play new games.
no, I agree with you completely. I love the analog consoles. I have your analog pocket over here whenever you're ready to make the deal. So it's just, with all the EverDrives, but analog is like, you want to talk about systems, analog is a great system. I happen to love analog. I love the Mister. So Drake might be coming on to talk about the Mister. I'll talk about analog. You'll talk about original systems. We can all, shoot the breeze on that and go through everything, which is a really good episode. But I will be honest. I did so. Nintendo. I happen to follow him and subscribe to him on YouTube. I absolutely love his content. I think he's great. And I he did a video on the analog pocket. He says I'm leaving everything at home. I'm taking the pocket with me with open FPGA, and I'm going to take an EverDrive with me, and I'm going to bring it on vacation for about a week. Well, he did bring it on vacation for a week, and he played it a lot. I personally feel the analog is excellent. I think it is a great system. The screen is great. You know, you throw it in, you play it. It's Sega Nick or no Nintendo, and it just really a good system. And I think the analog duo running an EverDrive is going to be amazing, and playing all the PC Engine games. I cannot get enough. I cannot get enough of PC Engine games for you know. I have to stop looking at PC Engine games because I get crazy for them because I love PC Engine
Stop
and
it.
Turbo.
Just get rid of it.
I think it's
Don't buy it.
I think yeah, right. I think that's the second favorite system. I think if I had to do systems, because we were talking about them, my first would probably have to be Saturn. The second would be the PC Engine, and the third would have to be the third would be a close cut between Gen and Virtual Boy. And people like Virtual Boy. Yo, Virtual
I
Boys,
haven't played Virtual Boy, so
Virtual Boy's
whatever.
awesome.
To each their own. All right, so I've been playing through Expedition 33. Found a playlist, and just judging by the pictures,
Mm-hmm.
like they have 24 episodes basically. Looks like I might be on episode 10 or around 10 somewhere. I can see that just because of the character on the thumbnail.
Oh wow.
The Monkey Men I picked up last night. But then there's a full playthrough in 17 and a half hours, and 8 hours in they're fighting the Monkey Man before they get it. He joins the party. So I'm close to being half done, which is good because I'm on my seventh. Like my last night was my seventh stream.
Huh.
So I still got. And let's see time on here. That's 2, 3.5, 5.5, 7.5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 12.5, 13.5, 15, 16.5, 18.5, 20.5, 22.5, 25.5. So we'll say 25 to 30 hours at least left to play. And this is someone who's doing like 100% walkthrough, so 25 to 30 hours left. So I need it to be all rainy and something Saturday, so I don't have to. I'm not doing anything but sit down and stream for like 5 or 6 hours and make a bunch of progress in that.
I think after I'm done and I move and I set everything up in the way I want it all, and and I have like the systems at the box up and do everything. I'll be playing a lot more retro than what I do now.
We'll see. Just because you might say that, but like most of my time, even last year, like a good chunk of my time was spent playing 360 games, which I don't consider retro.
Mm-hmm.
But just because ease of use, I could play on this Xbox, I could play on the Xbox downstairs, I could play on the Xbox in the bedroom, which is only a 360 in the bedroom.
It's all share play.
Well, you can say you save to the cloud, and every time you jump into that game, it'll download the save file if you're on a different console. And so, like when I was playing through EDF 2025, I'd play in here, and then I'd go in the bedroom and I'd go in the bedroom and play, and then it would download the save file that I was playing here, so I'm just continuing the game in the bedroom. And then the next morning, Saturday
Uh,
morning, I go downstairs and play on that one, and it downloads the file, and I just keep going. So it's super convenient.
that's not
Whereas if
bad.
I want to play on the Master System, I've got to do it up here, which maybe I probably need to look and see if the TV downstairs has RCA ports or composite, because then I could actually I could take a Master System downstairs.
See, now that's why you would need a Switch box, like a Switch box,
I've
like a
got some,
Switch, a Nintendo Switch, where it was just a console, period, and you could just pull the card out, take the card with you, download the save, pull the card with you, that would be excellent. I would love that.
but see that most people say, well, you just do that with a handheld and you just take the game with you.
Right? Exactly.
But
Exactly.
the thing is, it's you could have a much cheaper device without the screen and the battery and the need for a dock when you just incorporate it all into one.
True. That is true. So that is true.
I think that's good for tonight.
You want to watch the trailers?
We'll do that afterwards and we'll upload them.
Okay.
Instead of doing them live.
Yeah,
That way
that makes
we'll
sense.
have some uploaded content other than just shorts. But yeah, not much reason to even worry about the next gen of consoles, especially for collectors. I think is the summation. For collectors, next gen of consoles, it's kind of whatever, especially since things are just getting more and more digital. And as collectors, if we're collectors and gamers, I guess I should stipulate, like we have plenty of games to play, plenty of things that we can pick up and mess around with, and not have to spend $600, $700, $800, $900 or $1,000 on a new console.
Yeah, or like mad money on PC.
Well, see, that's where hopefully the Steam machine is actually somewhat reasonable, because it'd be awesome to have, like, I don't know if I'd have a Steam machine in here, but I could have a Steam machine in the bedroom or downstairs or something. And my library of 300 plus, Steam games, I'd have access to.
I think the Steam machine's going to be money. I
Well,
have such a feeling it's going to be a lot of
all
money.
about the price point. If the price point is not right, it's not going to make any money. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that gets pushed as well. Or
I hope so.
But they could also be, all right, hey, because of prices, it's going to be this much for the first 6 months, and then once we sell a bunch of units, we'll be able to drop the price a little bit. And so everyone who wants to be an early adopter and wants to burn some money, there you go. But we'll see.
We'll see.
Yep. Until then, keep it retro. Keep it Sega. Dude.
And
And